Welcome back to Terrier Nation. I'm your host, Lauren Charbonnier.
And I'm Riley Wen. On this episode of Terrier Nation, Brooke, Alessi, and Tyler Davis let us know what to expect from the upcoming women's ice hockey season. Belle Fraser previews the men's ice hockey team, and Henry Dinh-Price covers field hockey.
We'll hear from women's soccer head coach Casey Brown with Allison Dewitt. Finn and Taylor Hawthorne catch us up on men's cross country. And finally, Mason Jablonsky, James Ninneman, and Eric Pepe let us know all about golf.
All this and more tonight on Terrier Nation.
Thanks, Riley and Lauren. Let's jump right into the latest buzz surrounding our women's ice hockey team. The new coach, Tara Hawthorne. Hawthorne was a Terrier herself and a standout on the ice hockey team from 2008 to 2012. She then went on to win an Olympic gold medal in 2014 with the Canadian national team. In an interview with Belle Fraser on Hockey East Media Day, Hawthorne said, "I am so excited to be back. I think it's hitting me more every day as we get back on the ice and the rink that I got to play on as a player. Just such an honor. I think being back at BU allows me to hit the ground running a little bit quicker and hopefully learn on the fly as we go."
This past 2022-2023 season, Hawthorne was named NEWHA Coach of the Year in the Skyhawks' inaugural season. She was also a finalist for the ACHA Division I National Coach of the Year, and now she has returned as the first women's alumna head coach of the BU women's hockey team.
That's right, Tyler. We are excited to see what Hawthorne will do for the Lady Terriers in their upcoming season, but the real deal is on October 6th against conference rival, the Northeastern Huskies, last year's Beanpot winners. This game will be a valuable sneak peek into what to expect for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Brooke, I don't think we have anything to worry about here. With 10 newcomers, I think it's safe to say our roster is stacked. Twin sisters Lily and Louisa Welk, transferred from Maine, are standouts. They had a combined 43 points for the Black Bears last season. In addition, with 4 previous Terriers, Jessie Comfort, Corrine Schroeder, Victoria Bach, and Rebecca Leslie, were selected for the PWHL draft. It's safe to say BU is a breeding ground for talent.
Congratulations to the 4 drafted. We cannot wait to see what the women's hockey team has for us in store this season. Let's send it over to Belle with men's ice hockey.
Thanks, Brooke and Tyler. The Boston University men's hockey team kicks off its season on October 7th on the road against Bentley University, with its home opener landing on October 27th against UMass at Agganis Arena. Following the Terriers' run to the Frozen Four last season, where they fell short in the national semifinal matchup against Minnesota, head coach Jay Pandolfo and his squad are working to win it all this year, with new and returning stars in the lineup. Captain Case McCarthy came back for a 5th year, headlining the leadership group this season, along with assistant captains Sam Stevens, Cade Weber, Luke Tuck, and Lane Hudson. In terms of newcomers, the biggest name on Com Ave this year is freshman forward Macklin Celebrini, who's projected to be the #1 overall pick in the 2024 NHL entry draft. The 17-year-old adds unmatched talent to the Terrier offense and will no doubt be one to watch as he makes his collegiate debut. Macklin skated on a line with Jeremy Wilmer and Quinn Hudson during the team's Scarlet and White scrimmage. Freshman defenseman Tom Willander, who was selected 11th overall in the 2023 NHL entry draft by the Vancouver Canucks, is also playing for BU. He'll likely get paired with Hobie Baker top 10 finalist Lane Hudson on the blue line this season. Willander will complement Hudson's more offensive game with his own solid size and shutdown style of play. BU also has some changes in net after Drew Comesso signed his NHL entry-level contract with the Chicago Blackhawks in April. Junior Matthew Carone, who transferred from Brown University in the spring, will be the Terriers' starting goaltender, with senior Henry Graham and graduate Nick Howard backing him up. Beyond the new additions, though, the Terriers have a solid chunk of their core back on the ice. They all got a taste of what it takes to make it to the national stage and are determined to go all the way this season. Allison Dewitt met with women's soccer head coach Casey Brown to talk about the incredible season they are having.
I'm here with head coach Casey Brown of the BU women's soccer team. Coach, so this is your 2nd year here as a coach, but you were an athlete here in college. So what has that transition been like from being an athlete to the coach?
Yeah, it's been an awesome transition. It's always nice when you legitimately are a Terrier, and I had an unbelievable experience here as an undergraduate and playing for this program. So I think for me, it's just such a sense of pride to be the leader of this program. I know what it means. I know the rich history and the tradition of excellence, and that's something, those are things that are very important to me and to us and to this program because, we have high competitive aspirations, and I'm really keen on helping us continue to, push the limits on what that looks like. So, but yeah, amazing to have those years as a former player and now as the head coach is, it's unbelievable too because I think it's unique.
So when did you decide you wanted to be a coach?
Probably sometime in college, to be honest. Shout out to COM, but I was an advertising major in School of Communication here, had an unbelievable educational experience. But I felt I always had an itch to want to help others and inspire others and empower young women. And I kind of started doing some of my own things on the side in summers. And I think, I credit Nancy Feldman, the former coach of this program, for allowing me to see that that was a professional pathway I could take. And I think probably towards junior year, I really started thinking maybe this is something I could do. And after I had a short professional stint after my senior year, I naturally transitioned immediately then into the coaching world, and I'm very grateful for all those experiences and the people I got to meet along the way because I just absolutely fell in love with coaching, the teacher side of it, and just wanting to grow people and be a part of teams and compete. And it's really helped shape who I am, and I feel so lucky every day to do what I absolutely love.
So your team just about passed the midpoint in the season. What has been the real focus so far?
The focus has been getting better every game, and I think we've done a really good job just trying to progress throughout the season, and I think we've demonstrated very clearly what our identity can and should look like in possession and out of possession, and I'm very proud of the team because they've worked hard to create that, and I think we've showed a lot of resiliency and fight along the way as well.
So looking ahead, what is your focus going into the second half of the season?
I think during this time of year, it can be easy to kind of lose yourself and want to rush to the end of October, and you're looking at standings, but I think it's really important, even more so, to stay grounded and really focus one game at a time. So for us, the second half of the season, it's starting to be about continuing to focus on, each matchup, each opponent, trying to get better each game still and grounding ourselves in that. But, I think it's also a reality that we know how important confidence and momentum is. So we want to be picking up some pace right now, and we're looking forward to doing that.
Thank you, Coach. We wish your team good luck with the rest of this season, and you can come out and catch the team October 7th at 4 p.m. as they take on Lafayette right here at Nickerson Field. Henry, back to you.
Thanks, Allison. The Boston University field hockey team is coming off an exciting weekend where they picked up back-to-back double overtime wins over Bucknell and Northeastern. The Terriers beat Bucknell 2-1 on September 30th before defeating intercity rival Northeastern 3-2 the following day on October 1st. Senior midfielder Talia Steensens was the star of the weekend. She played a role in all 5 BU goals. BU head coach Sally Starr said after the Bucknell game, "It's so essential that players like Steensens really step up in big games like this," and she absolutely did, getting a big goal, and then also that assist was perfect. While Steensens was the star, junior back Peyton Anderson excelled on the defensive end for the Terriers, earning Patriot League Defensive Player of the Week honors. She played a key role in holding Bucknell scoreless for the last 46 minutes of play and Northeastern for the last 36. Steensens, who now leads the Terriers with points with 13, and Anderson, last year's Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year, who was pitched in with 8 points of her own, will look to lead the Terriers for the remainder of this season. The team is currently 5-5 and 2-1 in the Patriot League. They will look to extend their 2-game win streak in their upcoming matchups against New Hampshire, Columbia, and Lafayette. Now, let's throw it over to Mason, James, and Pepe with golf.
Thank you and welcome. I'm Eric Pepe, joined by James Ninneman and Mason Jablonsky to talk about BU's golf team. The Terriers got off to a scorching hot start to their 2023 fall season after placing first overall in the Bucknell Invitational in early September. However, since then, the team has not been able to repeat that fantastic performance. So my question is to you, gentlemen, did the Terriers season fall apart?
Well, Pepe, I wouldn't say their season fell apart. Instead, BU's fall season was parabolic. A big U, if you will, Pepe. Although the Terriers did not repeat their route on opening weekend, they continued to show their teeth throughout their fall slate. BU placed 6th out of 12 schools in the Princeton Invitational on September 16th and 17th, and then a week later, the Terriers finished 6th in the crowded 17-team Red Bandana Intercollegiate. And then rounding out the fall season, BU tied for 2nd at the Yale Invitational on October 1st. After swinging around that U and fine-tuning their work on the turf, the team has plenty to build on in the months ahead as they prepare for their spring stretch. Plus, the Terriers have already posted some stellar individual performances. Entering her junior campaign, 2023 Patriot League Golfer of the Year, Christy Chen, continues to be an ace on the course. She placed 1st overall in the Bucknell Invitational, 1st at the Princeton Invitational, then tied for 1st at Yale. At each tournament, a Chen masterclass is simply par for the course.
Yeah, you know what I see here, Mason? I see a team that really could use some more star power behind Christy Chen. Freshman Hibiki Adachi, for example, she got off to a rip-roaring start in the Bucknell Invitational where she placed 3rd overall. However, since then, she's kind of come crashing back down to earth a little bit, finishing outside the top 20 in each subsequent tournament. This is kind of emblematic of the whole team, I think. Maybe it's just that they're facing better competition. But however, I would just say there's too much dang talent on this roster for them to be finishing 6th and 7th and 8th at every tournament, especially when you have a weapon of mass destruction on the golf course like Christy Chen.
Yeah, for sure. The talent is undeniable, and that's what had me a bit disappointed during the middle of their season. But I like the optimism. But you know, golf is not known for being a team sport, so it really boils down to the individual performances of the Terriers. We know all about Christy Chen. Obviously, she's the creme de la creme, the top dog at BU. Every day that she wakes up is a bad day to be a golf ball. Which brings me to my next question. Who else do you guys like on this roster?
Let's see, there's sophomore Annika Manjanath. She's quite good. She's another phenomenally disciplined golfer. Manjanath has 3 top 20 performances under her belt, and she's averaging a calm 75 strokes per tournament, which is only 4 behind she who must not be named, Miss Christy Chen.
Yeah, absolutely, James. And let's not forget about our senior, Flair Kwan. Throughout her career, Kwan has added her own flair to the BU golf program, earning Patriot League Golfer of the Year honors in 2022. In her senior season, she continues to add to her resume, tying for 18th in the Red Bandana Intercollegiate.
You guys mentioned some talented swingers, and I like what the future holds for these Terriers as they close out the fall and we await their spring return. All this talk about golf has got me yearning for the greens myself.
Ooh, you got any clubs for those balls, Pepe?
No.
Do any tricks with them? Juggle? Magic?
Nope. All right, let's lob it over to Kyle and Taylor with the scoop on cross country.
Thanks Mason, James, and Pepe, the Terriers' men's and women's cross-country teams have already hit the ground running. In September, BU competed in 3 invitationals. The men's team placed 3rd at their season opener at the beginning of September and took the 1st place spot at the UMass Dartmouth Invitational on September 17th.
In addition to these victories, senior Robert Hannon was named Patriot League Runner of the Week after finishing 2nd at the UMass Dartmouth Invitational, leading the Terriers to a 1st place overall team finish in the men's 8K category. He completed the race in a blistering 24 minutes and 15 seconds. In other news, the women's cross-country team also placed 1st at the UMass Dartmouth Invitational and finished 3rd at their season opener, right behind Providence College and the University of Rhode Island. Freshman Hannah Proser was named Patriot League Rookie of the Week after placing 1st at the UMass Dartmouth Invitational in the women's 5K with a time of 16 minutes and 24 seconds.
Believe it or not, the Patriot League cross-country championships are less than 1 month away. We wish both Terriers cross-country teams the best of luck in their competition.
That does it for cross-country for today. With that, let's throw it back to Lauren and Riley.
Thanks, Kyle and Taylor. That's all we have time for tonight on Terrier Nation. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and X for the latest Terrier sports updates at Terrier Nation 10. I'm Lauren Charbonnier.
And I'm Riley Wen. From all of us here at Terrier Nation, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.